Happy Thursday once again. Welcome. Gary here is your host and webinar leader for the ICC Bootcamp for September 18th. Thank you for joining us today. We'll be underway in just 1 minute. We have another beautiful blue sky day. Wow, no clouds in the sky even. And so it's rather bright coming in the window, so you can see that I'm getting a nice tan on the right side of my body and nothing on the left side. I guess I'll have to turn my desk around. And so let's find ourselves getting underway in just about 30 seconds. And we'll be working on the website, chips-corner.com. So if you are one of those individuals who are not seeing the screen changes, I would urge you to get on your computer and go there so that you have the website. And as I announce the links, you can go and watch the links while you're listening. And obviously, it should record, and hopefully it will. And we've got a couple of new things that we'll be showing you from the commercial exchange kiosk, and a new advertising promotion that I think is going to be a lot of fun. So let's get started. All right, let's just take a quick look at some news updates. So if you again want to go to the Financial Hope website, which is www.legacyassurance.net, and go to 2014 news. That's where we're going to go. That's the one I want. Start screen share. All right, so here we have the 2014 news, September 18th. Check out the great new way to promote the Internet Catalog Club. Buy a t-shirt, go to town advertising your favorite protocols. Buy a few different ones, build your business, and support ICC admin at the same time. Obviously, I did that in a hurry, so we'll make the changes. Anyway, you can see it at chips-corner.com/advertising. That's the link, and it'll bring up a PDF, and we'll be seeing this at the end of our webinar today. We have the solution for this entry. Who do you know in your local government that needs our help? Reach out with this article and help them, and obviously you can use your need to new. The game is from Simon. I really like his stuff. He's on point, and I think that it's very useful to have third-party information that you can use to refer people to. I'm going to read this, and then I'm going to tell you a story that happened to me this morning that just shows that when you pray, your prayers get answered. So imagine coming home from work and finding the group of men and broken into your house. What do? Well, I have a gratified feeling that for an increasing number of our readers, the answer would be draw their firearm and defend the home. But it's just safe to say most folks would call the police. Well, I can assure you that here in the Dominican Republic, they've instituted 911 just recently, but I think you'd still have a long time to wait, and I've seen situations where the police are very overt in saying, you know, that'll cost you 2,000 pesos for me to do the investigation. That's only $50, but you know they want to be paid to do the work. So I understand where Simon's coming from when it talks about drawing your firearm and defending your home. This happened in Greece recently, as recounted to me in an email by a colleague who was visiting his family in a rural seaside town in the country's southern mainland. There's recently been a rash of home burglaries in the village, a remarkable turn of events for a place accustomed to leaving windows and doors unlocked. And I love Uruguay is that it was like I was back in the 50s and 60s. Everybody left their doors unlocked. There was no steel bars and steel door bars, and it was just, wow, really safe and secure. It goes on to say, in one instance, a local resident came home and spied a thief in progress. He immediately called the police to dispatch a unit as quickly as possible. Every time I read this, I get a break out. And the police reportedly told the man, "We haven't enough fuel to come out there right now." Wow, that sounds like the Dominican Republic. Anyway, it shouldn't come as a surprise to hear that public services are being cut back in Greece, given how messed up their economy is. But protecting citizens against crime is supposedly one of the sacrosanct terms of the social contract. Citizens around the world have exchanged their freedom for security. It's completely absurd trade, but nevertheless, it's happened. And in doing so, governments have essentially monopolized the security business. By and large, police and security are public services providing exclusively by the government. Now, here in the Dominican Republic, there's a gazillion private security firms that will police your home 24/7. And they'll bring out guards, and they'll have a guard standing outside your house 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And that will cost you about $1,000 a month. And that's pretty cheap insurance, quite frankly, to have somebody there with a shotgun 24/7 looking after your house for $1,000. That's $250 a week. That's like around four guys will be out there, three 8-hour shifts, and then the weekend somebody else takes over. And supposedly the taxes that we all go to pay to fund those services, ensuring that someone from government will come and save us when the bad guys approach. That's the promise, at least. But in difficult times, economic times, they set aside promises they've made to taxpayers. They slash pension, Social Security benefits, or use funky guerrilla math to understate the cost of living increases. They completely violate the sacred vow of maintaining a strong, sound currency, and they drastically reduce or even eliminate funding for critical services that people have come to depend on. Of course, this situation isn't unique to Greece. Every bankrupt nation reaches this point sooner or later. Recently, in bankrupt Argentina, this is another funny one, a single police officer was left in charge of an entire jail in Buenos Aires area, which was housing several dozen prisoners. The lone officer, who was clearly in over her head, poorly trained, heard suspicious noises somewhere in the building. So what did she do? She, being a police officer, called the police. Argentine media recording, you can listen to it, I haven't yet, where the emergency dispatcher told the officer to get a colleague to try and stop by. Okay, well, just get somebody to stop by and take a look with you. Oh, hey, I hope you're not too busy issuing parking tickets and providing security for thieving politicians. Would you mind making sure we don't have a prison break on our hands? But the police officer's response really reveals just how desperate the situation is. I have one vehicle to patrol the whole district. Again, these aren't isolated events. This is a major trend that is due to befall any bankrupt nation. Think about it. Are we really so arrogant to believe that a bankrupt government can continue to borrow money forever without consequence? Is key. Cannot rely on a bankrupt government to provide the services that they promise. That goes for everything, from providing basic security to ensuring bank deposits to paying out Social Security benefits. They simply don't have the financial means to make good on their promises. And this is a reality that's important to recognize and prepare for before it's too late, until tomorrow. So what I would suggest is if you have a situation that you know that fits this particular document, send the document to the individual and say, look, we have protocols that will help your government do just that. So this morning, I woke up, did my little prayer session after taking my puppy for a walk, and I said, bring me some people today that I can help. Isn't that amazing? And so I had 2 calls, and I didn't take them both at the same time, obviously, but I did call them back. And one of them was a gentleman that I've been working with, as has Eddie, for a number of years. And we have a big project that we all wanted to do in Dominica, which was to put in a huge resort on the northwest corner, a resort with golf course, with insurance, boat registry, banking, the whole deal. And so the individual, Augusto, contacted me and said, hey, Gare, what's up? What's happening with you and Eddie? I haven't heard from you for a while. Well, did that answer my prayer? Absolutely. So I went on and told him how I am busy working on a new website right now that will provide a better alternative to reverse mortgages. And so it'll be a pretty simple website with some links to the various documents that they need. But basically, it's going to say, are you considering a reverse mortgage? Stop. the insanity and take a look here, because we can show you how to get all the equity out of your property and the full value of your property every year, year after year, and you'll own the property. And we'd like to share with you how to do that. So if you've got any ideas of what to call it, I'd like to get Cash Cow in there or something, or Cash Bonanza or something. So if any of you like the idea and want to work with me in developing the website so we can all use it, Skype me after the call, and we can start working on that. Because I really believe there's a huge market that is untapped, because there's lots of seniors who have paid for properties or close to paid for properties that need to survive, and we can show them how to get their money out and still own their property while the process is going on, and ultimately have it paid for and be able to do it many, many, many times, not just once. So I think it's a great idea, and I look for your support in that area. All right, so that's the focus that I'm headed with Eddie. Obviously, we're still looking to purchase from willing sellers real estate, and talked with Ben and Eddie, and everything seems to be moving along, not as fast as we all want, but when you have many hands in the fire, especially banks, they are very slow to react. So we're waiting for payoffs on 2 different properties to move forward on. But other than that, everything else is moving forward. Eddie's got some new contacts that he's working with, and my one contact that I'm working with is back from vacation now. Sent him an email, tried to reach him a couple of times on phone, but he hasn't followed up with all his messages yet, and so I can't leave a message, and I haven't caught him live. So having said that, there's lots to do, and some pretty exciting things happening. Now, what I want to do is take us now to the chips-corner.com website, and I want you to go to the commercial exchange kiosk. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop this window off, and I'm going to pick up a new one. So let's do that. There we go. All right, I'm back. And so now we're going to go to chips-corner.com commercial exchange kiosk. We're going to scroll down on the left-hand toolbar. Under your control is the very first one we're going to look at. So let's go ahead and take a look at that document. And again, if it doesn't come up properly for you, then watch it on your website. So under your control, new edition. Now, many of you have Zcash or chips. Many of you have BBK, but maybe don't have Zcash or chips. So you can get Zcash now by working with Gary and Eddie at Bright Star Work Center through Zcash Credit or other various protocols. So if you want to have a way that's under your control to exchange your Zcash or chips for other currency, why not promote the Time to Turn the Corner on Energy protocol found in chips-corner.com. Now, we have gone over that. You know, it's about buying oil on consignment. They keep it, and everybody makes money. So by helping others use that protocol, you can create a growing fund available only to you to be allocated for the exchange of your Zcash and chips to USD bank deposit funds. How would this fund be created? Please note that through the process, the International Energy Corporation would receive chips equal to twice the value of the fuel being purchased and left on consignment. You could prearrange with IEC that 1/2 of those chips, valued at the full price of the fuel, would be converted by IEC to USD bank deposit funds and used by IEC through the energy store to buy items that IEC will use or market that are listed in the energy solution. Through that arrangement, until such a time as prearranged amount of Zcash or chips that you present for exchange has been processed, 40% of the energy store trading profits would be allocated towards IEC buying chips, Zcash from you. 40%. So it's very worthwhile to get out there and look for people that would be actively involved in the protocol that's been listed. Now, through that arrangement, that 40% becomes available, and also for as long as the funds placed by IEC with the energy stores traded from the beginning, an additional fund equal to 25% of the trading profits would be accumulated to be used to clear. That is, be absorbed by the Internet Catalog Club, Zcash or chips that you may choose at any time to exchange for USD bank deposit funds. So you'd have this ongoing amount available for you so that you wouldn't want to exchange your Zcash and chips knowing you have the fund there. Don't put it into USD, my personal opinion, because that's a very vulnerable currency at this present time. So just exchange it when you need it. And you also have the opportunity to be an exchange house for somebody else that has Zcash and chips that would like to do that as well. So you can start to open up. And that's why I really want to go after the real estate protocol using the paid-for properties, not to buy them, because I don't really need to be a manager of a lot of properties, but to show them how they can turn their own personal property into a cash cow. And that 25% becomes available for me as the sponsor. You could be too. They get the 40, you get the 25 for being the sponsor. However, IEC may also use proceeds from the resale of items that is purchasing related to the energy solution to accelerate the processing of the prearranged amount of Zcash or chips that you present for exchange. So you may say, I need 2 million, and so obviously that's going to be accumulated and paid out of that pool for your 2 million that you're requesting. So that is, instead of waiting for trading profits, IEC may use proceeds from the resale of energy solution items to provide you USD bank deposit funds in exchange for prearranged amount of Zcash or chips. That's all negotiable. Thus, you can control the exchange of your Zcash and chips to USD bank deposit funds by promoting time to turn the corner on energy and by promoting the purchase of energy solution items through IEC by others. Both of these may be reviewed in chips-corner.com. As a bonus, you would also be helping all energy forms, other than nuclear, of course, to be on the road to becoming cleaner, if not totally clean energy. For nuclear, unless somebody comes up with a way to make that form of energy less dangerous, which IEC would be happy to support, the only solution that IEC can envision at this time is to replace nuclear power plants with other forms of energy. And we concur. All right, so there is that latest document, and I will go ahead and I'll sign out of this one. And we'll go to the next one on the list, which is water and energy voucher. Now, water is going to be a big deal. Why is that? Going back to where it needs to go. There we go. Okay. I'm back. All right, so let's go to water and energy. That's the next one on the link. This came from a conversation I was having with Mr. B, because he mentioned fracking, and I said, that's an evil thing. No, it's not an evil thing. I said, it's poisoning water tables. Well, it doesn't have to, and there's good companies doing good work, and it isn't poisoning those water tables. I said, it doesn't really matter. All we need is 1 or 2 water tables to be poisoned, and it's a bad thing. So, boop, up comes water to energy voucher. Natural gas is now being seen as a premier source of energy, but producing it through fracking is causing my concerns. Many concerns, one of which the effect on availability of water. International Energy Corporation, IEC, proposes to solve problems related to water caused by fracking in 2 ways, using proven technology. So here's the 2 ways. Number 1, IEC intends to purchase equipment to recover and recycle water used for fracking, and will make that equipment available on lease or purchase basis to firms involved in fracking. So there's a whole new marketplace that we can go actively pursuing these companies and say, we got this truck that has this device that will take your dirty water and make it clean again so you can shove it back into the earth to push out the gas. So second, IEC intends to build pipelines from the Gulf of Mexico and from the Pacific to provide water to areas that need it. Everywhere in Texas and the USA Southwest area, California, Nevada, New Mexico, and Colorado, all these areas, northern areas of Mexico, other areas of the world may also apply for their needs to be satisfied. How are we going to do this? Well, we're going to do it through desalination, and that will take place at the source of the water. Then we'll pipe clear, cool water. Isn't there a song? Anyway, in addition to the standard technologies for water recovery for desalination, IEC intends to use technical silicon to produce hydrogen to provide electrical energy and clean water at the source of the water. So we're going to use our hydrogen technologies. IEC is open to building facilities to produce technical silicon from sand anywhere, but arrangements have already been made to use a 700-acre area in Idaho for this purpose. And so that's a property that's been purchased, replete with tons and tons of silica sand. And so that is closing up, and we'll start setting in motion the trades for that particular project. IEC has already made arrangements with the patent holders to use the sand to silicon process. This IEC audacious business plan will require many billions of USD to be invested by IEC. Huge, absolutely huge, to run pipelines, all right, from the Gulf of Mexico and from the Pacific to all these states. Wow, ambitious or what? Now, we're setting the parameters here. IEC does not accept funds from investors. We're not looking for investors. But IEC does offer future delivery of products at fair market value at the time of delivery related to this plan in exchange for water and energy vouchers allocated to IEC. Water and energy vouchers are not sold by IEC. They may be acquired through this location in exchange for Ticket Stash USD. Ticket Stash USD acquired from the Internet Catalog Club through this location will automatically be allocated to acquiring water and energy vouchers of equal value. Water and energy vouchers thus acquired will automatically be allocated to IEC in exchange for future delivery of related products. Funds used by a member and a member of the club to acquire Tickets USD will be rebated by the Blue Millennium Foundation, provided members equal value in Zcash electronic tokens. Zcash are USD, lawful USD currency that, when exchanged for items or USD bank deposit funds, causes equal value of chips, commercial high increased savings protections points, also USD lawful currency to be registered by the party exchanging the Zcash. Zcash and chips may be exchanged for USD bank deposit funds through the commercial exchange kiosk chips-corner.com by any club member that is registered with employeegold.info. Thus, a club member that chooses to support the IEC plan to resolve energy and water problems may acquire future delivery of products to be produced, plus obtain an immediate rebate by twice the value of the Ticket Stash USD acquired and used as indicated above. So you put in 100 grand, you're going to get 200 grand out. Plus, you're going to get this future delivery of the water or whatever. Products that may be selected and contracted by private negotiation with IEC through Bright Star Work Center include, but are not limited to, equipment for desalination, equipment for hydrogen production, equipment for electrical power production, equipment for water recovery and recycling of fracking sites, gas to diesel conversion equipment, pipelines, pipe, clean water, and related engineering and technical services. To be assigned to Bright Star Work Center, contact me on the website. When funds are received, this is pretty exciting, by the Internet Catalog Club through the Tickets USD, they'll be used by the club to provide 50% of the value to the energy store. Out of that 50%, 40% of the profits from that facility being allocated by the club to clear Zcash or chips that may be presented by the member that acquired the Ticket Stash USD until a total value equal to the twice the value of the Tickets USD has been provided in USD bank deposit funds to that member for the Zcash and or chips that cleared afterward. The full 40% will be provided to IEC until a value equal to twice the value of the Ticket Stash USD has been provided to IEC. then the normal terms of the energy store will be followed with the club as the beneficiary. So a way to double your money. If you're already in the energy business or want to be in the energy business, here's a fabulous way to take your seed capital that you would start your business with, put it into the Ticket Stash USD, double your money, and do it over and over and over. Plan B here says with 25% of the profits from that facility being allocated by the club to an account that will be available for the theta sponsor, that's the person who actually brings the deal to the table, requires the Ticket Stash USD to be exchanged for Zcash and chips, as these may be presented by the theta sponsor. So you say, well, I don't have a property, and I don't have an oil company, and I don't have all these things, but I do have a mouth, and I do have the access to all these websites and the internet. And so I go find a business that will come and work with me. And that's the key operative here. Work with me, partner with them, whatever kind of arrangements you want to make. They're going to do employee gold. You're going to partner, and ultimately they're going to get 40% allocated for their Zcash and chips, and you're going to get 25% allocated for your Zcash and chips. You didn't have to bring the big money, but what you did have to bring was the educational expertise and teach them what to do with our support here at Bright Star Work Center. And so number 2 shows us how 50% of the value of the exchange for chips offered by the ILM, so International Logistics Manager, which is Eddie, he gets the 5%, Bright Star Work Center gets 10, so there's 15% now of $100,000. But if it's $1 million, it starts to get pretty exciting. And so then there's the 1% to the beta, the omega, and the theta. So there's that 3-level payout of 1%. And then the sponsor gets 7%. House Services for doing administration gets 5%. IEC gets 10%. And then the remainder of 10% is going to be exchanged for Mexican pesos. Well, why would we do a dumb thing like that? Pesos aren't worth anything. Well, actually, the beautiful part is they're worth 13 times more than what a US dollar would be. Because what we can do is we can take the 10%, buy pesos, come to the commercial exchange kiosk, and exchange pesos 1-to-1. 1 peso equals 1 USD instead of 13 pesos equaling 1 USD, and it creates another cash cow situation. All right, so this is our own little Forex program where we can turn huge profits, 13 times our money, every time we do this. Okay, so they're going to be exchanged for Mexican pesos, invested with fees under a contract through which fees will return to the club bank deposit USD funds after leveraging the value of the pesos to the equivalent of 1-to-1 USD value, and by fees using the pesos to obtain tickets with that currency through the treasure chest, exchanging tickets for Zcash and chips, exchanging Zcash and chips for USD bank deposit funds. And so we get the 13 times value there. We double our value on the Zcash because we get the chips. And so it's going to return full value of the Ticket Stash USD to the club in the form of USD bank deposit funds. Everybody wins. Thus, water and energy vouchers and their use is designated to create a win-win scenario for everyone, especially areas thirsty for clean water and needing energy. All those arid states, Mexico, any country that's out there, there's everything you need to work with me on. It's all there. Okay, so that's another one to review if you have people in that area. Okay, so back to Google Hangouts. We're going to do our screen share again, and we're going to move now down to Fund Your Project. So, if your project is approved by International Energy Corporation, it will then be listed in projects to be funded. You can click on the link. I don't know if there's anything there yet. This is all brand new. You would provide Zcash that you allocate to be exchanged for USD bank deposit funds. Your project and the Zcash would be transferred to an IEC account. You would then promote the acquisition of Ticket Stash USD through this location. Ticket Stash USD acquired through this location when your project is identified in your notice to us, at the checkout would automatically be used to acquire water and energy vouchers that would automatically be allocated to IEC. So this part of the site assures that you become the sponsor to get that 25% allocation for you. Okay, the process described in a water and energy voucher in the commercial exchange kiosk would be followed by the USD bank deposit funds used by the exchange for Zcash as per that protocol, first being used to exchange the Zcash and the chips for the member that acquired the ticket stash USD, and then to exchange for the Zcash in the IEC account established for your project, up to the amount equal in value to the ticket stash USD that were acquired and used by water and energy vouchers. Thereafter, the protocol described in water energy voucher would be followed. So you'll get a certain amount of time that 25% will be allocated for your project. And so this is paperwork that I do. You don't have to do it. Just know it's there, ready. All right, now we got it down. Okay, so the next one we're going to go in review is let no man seek his own. King James, Corinthians 10:24. Vendors wishing to engage in major profitable business may support projects by engaging the Fund Your Project protocol found in the commercial exchange kiosk, which we just read. A vendor may establish an investment or brokerage account with any institution that allows electronic trading. A vendor may provide a limited power of attorney, which can be supplied by the institution, and contract for a trading group already contracted with the International Energy Corporation to use the account for non-depletion transactions to produce profits. So you can see this is just a modification of what we've already been through before. So while the individual can plop their money into an investment or brokerage account, limited power of attorney, the traders don't ever deplete the funds. It's only used to be traded against. So 50% of after costs, including paying the trading group profits, will be retained by the vendor. The remaining 50% will be transferred to be used for benefit of the vendor as per the Fund Your Project protocol. The vendor would select the project to be supported as per Fund Your Project from the projects to be funded list shown in that protocol. Thus, by promoting the support of listed projects by vendors as described in the Fund Your Project and the Water and Energy Voucher protocols, both found in the Commercial Exchange Kiosk within chips-corner.com, a member of the Internet Catalog Club can have funds created through professional trading that can be allocated to exchange Zcash and chips to USD bank deposit funds that the member may request, as well as earn significant income as indicated in the Water and Energy Voucher protocol. An example, a member may look for vendors to support the San Miguel project. This project has been requested by the mayor of San Miguel, El Salvador, to help control gang violence against children, families, and businesses in that city by installing video surveillance throughout the city. So isn't this exactly what we were talking about with Simon Black's overview? Here's a mayor that's requesting help. So they're out there, folks. We just got to ask these people, do you want help like San Miguel? It's expected to serve as a pilot project for cities throughout Central American region that are being devastated by gang activities. That problem has serious international consequences, as indicated by the tens of thousands of child refugees streaming through Mexico and across USA's southern border. Member and vendors that want to participate in solving this problem may do so by following the protocol of this publication. To fund the investment or brokerage account, a vendor may take advantage of real estate protocols espoused by a real estate investor, uses Real Estate Addendum 1 or Real Estate Addendum 2. And this is what I'm going to focus on, is the RE Addendum 2, people who have paid for properties, who want to turn those paid for properties into a cash cow. They're going to get the 40% for doing what they want to do, and Gary and Ed are going to get 25%. So it's very, very substantial. The real estate involved may belong to a member or a vendor or other parties referred by that member or the vendor. Okay, so contact me if you want to do this. All right, now we're going to go to sister cities funding. All right, so there are affluent major cities in the world may help themselves by helping others. A city is a taxing authority. As such, a city may issue tax credits. It's our understanding that as per the Bank of International Settlement rules, tax credits may be used as cash funds to settle financial transactions. The city may issue and sell tax credits to the International Energy Corporation, IEC, a Colorado, USA corporation with business offices in Texas, and be paid using Zcash, which is now USD, lawful USA currency. IEC may arrange to use the tax credits to develop margin lines of credit with investment services groups or brokerage firms to engage in non-depletion trading of senior financial instruments to produce profits. 50% of after costs, including paying the trading groups, would be allocated to exchange the Zcash received as payment by the city for the USD bank deposit funds. The other 50% would be used to support projects selected by the city for the projects to be funded. List in your funding project in the commercial exchange kiosk in chips-corner.com. The city may then request funding as per the International Energy Corporation announcement to governments in chips-corner.com to receive USD bank deposit funds at no cost to the city to buy back the tax credits from IEC. The process may be repeated as often as may be necessary to provide cash flow to the city as well as to support listed projects selected by the city. All arrangements would be made through Bright Star Work Center as directed by the brokerage firm that IEC uses for the process. All right, pretty darn exciting information, all available. Slight modifications of existing information, but again in a nice succinct way that can be easily presented to people. So review the docs, make a list of your questions, send them off to me, we'll get them answered. We'll get them posted. All right, well, I had a call from Mr. B today, and he said we obviously needed help with administrative fees, and so we've got an excellent way of assisting, very inexpensive way that you can help, I can help, and that's promoting advertising. So if we, again, go back to our main page, and we're going to come to screen share again with Google Hangouts, start screen share, and we'll go to advertising. If you go to chips-corner.com, right above the terms and conditions at the very bottom of the site, you're going to see the word advertising with a blue line underlining it. Click on that, and it's going to bring up t-shirt advertising. Well, years gone by, we advertised the concept of t-shirts. Well, here it is, ready to go. Now we have 20 different varieties. Employee gold, digital cash, fracking water, oil and gas, student loans, healthcare solutions, money well spent, taxes paid, food and fuel, loans but no debt, feed coal, diesel profit, railroad varieties, San Miguel project, general contractor fee for free, I should say general contractor free, Bitcoin 3000, ICC mall rebates, project funding, no debt, pay for government, and free recruiting. All right, so there we have 20 different t-shirts, $20 each. Buy one, buy them all. It will definitely support admin. It'll give you a tax-deductible tool that you can wear and promote when you're out there exercising in the community. I'm going to pick up a couple, so when I go for walks with my puppy, people will hopefully see, and the ones that speak English will ask. So great little way to do it. So when you click on any one of these links, and I'm going to the Zcash digital currency since 1996, if it didn't come up, then obviously you can go to the website, click on the digital currency, and you'll see this site. So it's a rather unique little company. We've got one sold towards a goal of 50. We've got 20 days, 9 hours, 20 minutes for this campaign. So we want to sell 50 of each one of those 20 categories, folks. So put on your thinking cap and see how you can market these t-shirts on behalf of yourself, because Mr. B's mindset was support us by buying these t-shirts. We'll continue to support you by providing you the necessary input when you bring a project or purchase to us. So Zcash has been used to engage in very large business transactions in real estate, gold, oil, gas, hydrogen energy, and many, many others since 1996. Recent USA federal court rulings and state legislators have made digital currency, USD, lawful USA currency. Businesses may obtain Zcash at no cost through Employee Gold as a rebate from the Blue Millennium Foundation program to support reserve it now. Now, what you do is you reserve your t-shirt. It goes the 21 days. If we've sold 50, you'll get your t-shirt. You'll pay for it with PayPal. If we don't get to 50 or get to a profit point, which probably is around 40, then ultimately you won't be paying for anything because you won't be getting anything. So the idea is we get a campaign going, and if you'll read this website, you can do your own campaign. Now, I know is promoting her skill sets as an SEO consultant, as is Griff, so they can go to this site and they can create their own t-shirt. Again, in some of the examples they give, it's gone viral. Thousands of t-shirts have been sold. And so take a look at the site. You can create your own custom t-shirt. It can be a jacket, all kinds of different things that they've got. Obviously, the price will be more than $20. Launch a new campaign. They've sold over 2 million t-shirts through this, and so you don't have to put any money out. You do your campaign. You got 21 days to put it together, another 7 to 14 days to have delivery. And I think it's a super neat little deal. And so you can search for custom apparel, learn more, refer a friend, and create your own account. But please help us, help admin, and buy a t-shirt, $20. Buy the one you like most, buy a couple, buy one a week, buy one a month, and get the whole collection. And then we'll have 2 or 3 coming from Brightstar. One will be based on finding willing sellers for real estate purchases. The other will be cash cow for using the equity of your property. And I'm working on my Fuel Club as well, so we'll have a My Fuel Club one. So there you have it, folks. That's our updates and overviews for today. If there are any questions, I will check the chat box. So if you have any questions, go ahead and type it in. Getting double sound. Sorry about that. Well, again, hopefully on the recording it won't be that way. So take a look at the recorded webinar. It'll probably be a couple hours before the YouTube people have it up on the site, that I can then add it to our site. But just know that we'll be putting it up there as soon as possible. And I don't think there'll be double sound when it's recorded. Any other comments or questions, feel free to Skype me. I'll be going online after the call. And for those of you that want to work with me on the cash cow portfolio concept of taking equity instead of doing a reverse mortgage, I think it's so much safer and better that the property never leaves the hands. The title doesn't change hands. They buy it back with Zcash. So the first one they put through Ben, and then from that point forward they can set up a little company or two and just buy and sell the property back and forth, and they'll have more money to survive their senior years than anybody could ever hope for doing a reverse mortgage. So let's take a serious work at getting it done. Tara asks, how long does it take to turn BVK into Zcash? Well, there's several ways of doing it, but it's virtually instantaneous. It's taking the Zcash and taking Zcash to the USD bank deposit funds. It's going to take some time because you've got to bring a cash fund to the table. But certainly you can turn your BVK into Zcash several different ways, through Zcash credit, through a couple of other protocols, depending upon what you're prepared to do. It's all about work. So if you want to turn your BVK into Zcash, just Skype me and we'll set up a call and discuss what your desires are, what your plans are, and what it's all about. Gary, can you explain a little more what a reverse mortgage is? Okay, sure. I think the best thing to do is go to Google and put in explain reverse mortgage, and boom, you're going to get all kinds of neat stuff on what a reverse mortgage is. But basically, what happens is people spend their whole life paying down their mortgage to a point where property's completely paid for, and then they find themselves property rich and no money. They don't have any monthly payments, but they also are in a situation where they don't have enough to survive on. So the banks thought of this really ingenious way to provide them the ability to get a loan with a big balloon payment and no monthly payments. Okay, so let's just say it's a $200,000 property. They give the family, let's say, $150,000, maybe the full $200,000. It depends on the program, and they now have that stuck in the bank, and they live off that. When it's gone, it's gone. And now, if they die, or at the end of the term of the loan, they got this huge amount to pay back. So they got to refi and start all over again. Or usually what happens is the parents die, the kids get the property, and they say, wait a second here, Mom, Dad, what did you do? Well, remember we got this reverse mortgage thing? You now own the property. Well, you don't actually. You got to pay the bank for it if you want it. So now the family says, screw that. I'm not going to buy the property. I didn't want the house in the first place. So who gets the property? The bank. What do they pay for it? Nothing. They rip the family off. My personal opinion, of course. I guess it's helped a few families, but certainly some states have outlawed them, and there's been a lot of bad press about them. But there are people out there doing it. So it's out there. So we're going to work on a project together. We'll get a capture page website set up, and anybody else that wants to work with me on that, again, Skype me, and let's brainstorm and get the best terminologies to show people that we have so much better to offer than a reverse mortgage. All right, Craig says, Gary, will the new U.S. Treasury money make a difference in how the protocols will be used? Geez, I don't think so. You know, it doesn't really matter what currency. I can assure you, Craig, that everything that we buy is always going to be bought with Zcash. No exceptions. Now, if you want to do it and spend your money, you go right ahead, but you've really got to understand the power of Zcash. When I use Zcash to buy something, if I have a willing buyer, and let's just say I've got this $1.58 million 28-unit apartment building that I'd like to buy from this guy, and so he agrees to accept the Zcash, signs the contract. We go get a hard money loan against the 1.58 million, probably about 70% of that. He says, I need $1,000 up front. I mean, 100,000 up front. And so if he gets 100,000, then Ben gets 100,000. Ben shares that 100,000 with Gary and Eddie for doing the work. And then obviously the first thing that's paid off through the trades is the hard money lender, the real estate agents, and all the closing costs, and that'll all be covered. And then we go to work and we pay and buy back with the USD bank deposit funds the Zcash. Every time we do this, though, we get chips. We double our money. And so why would I buy using anything else than Zcash? Because when I buy Zcash, I get an equal amount of chips, and so do you. And so those things are one-to-one, US dollar. And so I double my money. I would never spend my money when I can double my money on every transaction I do. So we just got to educate people. If you go and look at the hotel story, that's the perfect example. That's what I used this morning to explain to Augusto the power of using digital currency. We just pass it all around until somebody actually needs it to buy something that's not a part of our routine. So the more people that we give Zcash to through Employee Gold, the more people that we educate the power of using Zcash and chips. So if it is to be, it is up to me. We got to get to work on this. So whether U.S. Treasury money being gold backed is going to make things change, I don't think so, because Zcash is already gold backed. It's just whatever they're doing, we can do it much better. So that's my opinion. I don't know for sure. We'll just have to wait and see. Okay, so any other questions? Feel free to ask. We've got another 11 minutes. I like that slogan. If you don't have Zcash, you don't have the cash. I love that. EmployeeGold.info. So, and that's the one side of the T-shirt. And it's a neat little website. Click on this one, and it gives you the other side. Maybe put the same on both sides. Well, there are ones that have changed. I didn't know that. Oh, yeah, there it is. Zcash, the premier digital currency since 1996, EmployeeGold.info. So that's the back side. Now, digital currencies are the wave of the future. Do you see BVK being a global reset? Probably not. But again, it doesn't need to be. You guys just aren't getting it. BVK, look, if you go to China right now and you go to mainland China and you want to use the currency that they're using in China right now, it's called renminbi. I don't know how to pronounce it. Let's just say renminbi, okay? Now, if I want to use renminbi here in the Dominican Republic, I can't use it here. What's the difference of not being able to use renminbi or BVK? Yet they're both valid currencies. BVK is the only 100% gold-backed currency on the planet. And when people understand that, and then they can use their BVK as, quote, collateral to get Zcash credit to double their money, why would they ever want to get rid of their BVK? Why does it need to be included in a global reset? It doesn't. You just got to make the paradigm shift in your brain and educate everybody you're associated with that digital currencies are, number one, here to stay, number two, are legal, and number three, are the wave of the future. They're going to be much bigger than credit cards ever were on this planet. And yet credit cards changed the way we do business. Well, I'm telling you right now, with eBay now allowing their PayPal program to exchange Bitcoin, can you see where this is headed? Everybody's going digital currency. Why? Because it takes the power away from the bankster gangsters. Why do you want to go back into the system that screwed you? I sure don't. That's why I promote Zcash. That's why I promote chips. That's why I promote BVK. Now, obviously, I do need USD funds from time to time. But the less that I have to do that, the happier I'm going to be. So that's why every day I educate the people I come in contact with. Look, I'm going to give you what you need to get yourself started in business. Go to Employee Gold, get yourself set up with a business plan, tell me what you're going to do, show me you're going to work, and I'm going to give you money. Pure and simple to start your business. And you're going to pay for it through advertising. And the advertising is buying T-shirts. Number one, so you're in an office. Nobody's going to see the T-shirt. I understand. Just buy the T-shirt anyway. Hang it on the wall. Use it as a duster. I don't care. Just buy the T-shirt. Gives us a little cash flow for admin. And the second thing that happens is that you're going to get paid to advertise Employee Gold. Well, what do I got to do? Well, you got to tell at least 2 businesses. But you want to tell a lot more than 2 businesses, because you want every business that you're ever going to deal with to have Zcash and chips. You want them to have a membership. You want them to have the ability to get chips every time they make an exchange with you for some reason. So that's the power of what we're trying to do here. Not stay in a system that screwed us, but create the ultimate abundance system. And that's what we have right now. It's in place. Everything's in place. You just got to participate. And how you participate is number one, to learn, and number two, to teach. Okay? So be a student, learn what you need to do, then teach others to do the same. That's what we were supposed to do all along. That's our work. That's our vision. That's our opportunity. And we have the best of the best. There's nothing better out there than what we have to offer on planet Earth. And Employee Gold is the touch point for everybody, whether you have a business or whether you don't. If you have one, great. Incorporate Employee Gold into your business. I've got a gentleman that said to me, well, how am I going to pay my people with Zcash? And I said, you don't have to. You're going to pay them anyway. You're going to get double. Take the Zcash, get your cash pool, turn the Zcash into what you need so that you've paid your employees. Oh, never thought of that. Well, of course not. You've got to really think. And that takes thought. And it takes effort. And so many people want it all done for them. That isn't what we offer here, folks. We offer you the tools. It's like going to Home Depot and say, here's everything you'd ever need to build anything you want. All you have to do is take it home and apply it. And that's what the Internet Catalog Club is. Yes, there's a gazillion different protocols. I'm here to help you, guide you, but you've got to do the work. You've got to provide the support. Buy a t-shirt, get yourself involved, and find yourself an Employee Gold product or service that you would like to offer, one that you've already got, one you want to create. So many of us are just going to promote the Employee Gold, and that's okay. We've got 3 really good people right now set up with Employee Gold submissions to hire 7 people to go out and promote Employee Gold. Will they be paid with Zcash? Well, not in the very beginning, but they will eventually be paid in Zcash. In the meantime, they're not going to start the business until they've got the USD funds, and that's going to take some form of cash fund put together. So whether it's a real estate transaction, an energy transaction where you bring a big company into the play with the funds, then obviously it's called work. Talk to some people, you might make some money. Talk to a lot of people, I'll guarantee you wealth beyond your wildest dreams. All right, down to 4 minutes. I'm not trying to beat anybody up, but I just don't seem to be getting the message across. And you've got to make that paradigm shift. Digital currency is real money. Go read the documents, watch the webinars where I've read those overviews on digital currency and what money is. You've got to know that. Federal Reserve notes are promissory notes, a promise to pay. It's merely a means of exchange. If you go look in the Constitution, that you're going to see that a dollar is a measure of value of so many grams of fine silver. So there is no dollar in existence. But I can tell you that the Zcash is based on the value of the dollar. It's gold-backed, as is BVK. BVK is more dollar than a Federal Reserve note would ever hope to be. Now, has it been challenged in court? No, it hasn't. Has Zcash and chips? Absolutely. And hands down, we won. It's real. So just take that into your being and understand that you're sitting there with a lot of money. And if you don't have the Zcash yet, then get to work. Get yourself set up with Employee Gold. If you got a lot of BVK, get yourself set up to get Zcash credit with an Employee Gold business plan, and get your Zcash going and start telling everybody, let me show you how you can get a currency that's so much better than Bitcoin. I mean, why are these companies spending millions of dollars to promote Bitcoin? Why would PayPal, on behalf of eBay, want to do Bitcoin? Go read about it. It's powerful stuff. You know, I was first very against Bitcoin. Now I'm really happy they're doing all that work for us. We just have to follow on their coattails, because when you go to this website, advertising, and it probably didn't go there, but if you go to number 16, teespring.com, Bitcoin 3000, and you look at this t-shirt, and all those people that are going to be using Bitcoin, accept Bitcoin and trade for 3,000 USD value each with Employee Gold. And you look at the back side, and it said Bitcoin to Zcash and chips, Zcash and chips to 3,000 USD bank deposit. Wow, employee gold. I'm telling you, you could take a $500 Bitcoin and turn it into a $3,000 USD bank deposit fund. Now, anybody that's doing Forex trading needs to know how to do that, wouldn't you think? Well, who's going to call them? Who's going to tell them? I mean, whose business is this? I'm focused on real estate. You focus on what you think you can do. That's what all these protocols are for. I mean, Mr. B puts them up there, not for you to have to do them all, so don't get confused. Just find the one that you really want to focus on, like I am, which is buying from willing sellers, real estate, and obviously helping seniors who are in dire straits being suckered into these reverse mortgages. And those two are what I'm going to focus on. Yes, I'm going to come across diesel companies. Eddie's going to focus on car dealers. He's got a really neat way he's going to focus on car dealers and real estate. So each to his own. I mean, we got a gazillion different things to promote here. Just do something. Make yourself rich. It's up to you. Great success in all that you do. God bless you. Thank you for being here. We'll look forward to hearing from you real soon. Be blessed.